Xavi Simons, because I still think this is the weirdest transfer story that's been going on so far. I mean, I just don't understand why he's leaving PSG on loan again. He could start for PSG right now. Does he not want to play for them? Because I think that's what everybody's telling me. And if that's true, why the hell would he sign a deal to join them? I don't get it. Xavi Simons is starting for the Netherlands in the Euros. He balled out at RB Leipzig last season, but he can't get into PSG's team. Now, some people are telling me that there's some weird stuff going on with his deal and that, he doesn't really want to play for them and that they signed him as a kid, but now he wants to leave. So they can't sell him right now because if they do sell him, then another club might get like 40% of the transfer fee and all this other nonsense. It's weird. If I was PSG, I'm not selling him. You're staying right here. They just lost Mbappe. They're going to need as much attacking help as they can get next season. Because when I look at their attack without Mbappe in it, it's mid. You got Dembele, Molokani. You got Marco Asensio, Goncalo Ramos. You got guys like that. Xavi Simons could start for PSG today. So I don't understand what the issue is, but he wants to leave on loan. This is already confirmed. He's informed the club that he will leave, but not on a permanent basis, on a loan for this upcoming season. And again, I am very confused. I think this is money laundering. There's something illegal going on here with this deal, but nonetheless, it's a lot of teams that are in for him. You got Arsenal, Man City, Manchester United, and Bayern Munich. On top of, I'm sure, other clubs circling around, seeing if they could possibly go and bring Xavi Simons into the club. Because as I said, he's a very talented player. And he's one of those rare examples of a wonder kid that actually makes it, right? We've been seeing clips of Xavi Simons since he was like 6 years old in Barcelona's academy. Remember, we used to have the big-ass hair and everything? And then I think from Barca, he did go to PSG. And then I think he went to, like, PSV. Look, I don't know all the transfer history. I just know it's some bookie stuff going on. Point is, I like Xavi Simons. I think he's a decent player, right? He can play as an attacking midfielder. He can play on the left wing, on the right wing. He's a very technical player as well. He can receive the ball, take it on the turn, link play. He could beat a man 1v1. He can create chances as well. He has a good first touch. Like, on the eye, it's pleasing to watch him play. Now, I'd be lying to you if I said I watched every RB Leipzig game last season because I only watched like a handful. So I can't necessarily give you a big breakdown on how he did last season. But from what I'm seeing, everybody's rated his time at Leipzig. And I believe they also want to bring him back on a loan, maybe with the obligation to buy. But I think Xavi could end up going to a much bigger club than that. And when I see the teams that are linked with him, I can see him fitting in all these systems except for the first team that we're going to talk about, and that's Manchester United. Because with Ten Hag staying, I don't believe any attacking players should want to go there right now. Unless this manager does a complete 180 from what we've seen over the last 2 seasons with that haram football. If you're an attacker, if you're a winger, if you're a striker, why would you want to sign for Manchester United to have to defend for like 60% of the game and then try to do long balls over the top on the counters? Like, that's not what's going to get the best out of you, especially if you're a player like Xavi Simons. Now, there are attacking players where counterattacking does suit their style, like a Marcus Rashford, like a Megan Rapinoe, a.k.a. Garnacho, right? I think that's why he has a career right now, is because of the football that Erik ten Hag likes to play. But if you're a technical player like Xavi, who likes to have the ball, to build up play, right? Link it with your teammates. You're not going to really be able to do that at Manchester United. Technical players just don't make it there for some odd reason. It's like they like all the shit players, but they don't rate the guys who are actually good on the ball. The ones that can actually control the game, can slow it down. Like, look at how they treated Paul Pogba. Look at Amad Diallo. Can't get a run in right now. Kobe Mainoo's playing, but is he going to necessarily thrive underneath Erik ten Hag? I don't think so. He has the potential to be a top player, Mainoo does. But with the skill set that he has, it doesn't suit the style of play that's currently at Manchester United. So if I'm Xavi Simons, I'm not going there. If I'm being honest with you, it doesn't matter how badly they want him. And then where is he going to play? On that right wing? Because I think he could play there. Sure. But that style of football isn't what's going to benefit him. I look at Arsenal. I think he can do well at Arsenal, right? Like that would be a good move. Now, he wouldn't get into Arsenal's midfield. They got Martin Odegaard, Declan Rice. Arsenal need a midfielder that's more physical than him. That could be in a pivot with Rice, right? Like that kind of center mid they need. They don't need a Xavi Simons for the middle of the field for them. But he can go on that left wing, right? We all know that Martinelli has been struggling last season. He hasn't necessarily progressed like a lot of people thought he would. And I think Xavi Simons could definitely start for Arsenal on that left wing. And I think he would fit in that Arteta style of play in terms of the slow build up, passing it around, looking to break down teams that way. You're going to be going against a lot of low blocks as well. So you do need players who are good with the ball at their feet that can also unlock the defense. Then you got Man City. I think style of play wise, he would work at Man City. It's just Pep does kind of kill the creativity of his attackers, right? Like, look at what he's done to Jack Grealish, for example. And I just don't think they necessarily need him, even though I think he would be a good signing for them. But how much do you think City are gonna really want to put towards wingers and attacking midfielders, unless they view Xavi Simons as like a replacement for Kevin De Bruyne? Who knows? There's rumors that he may leave this summer to go to Saudi. But if they plan on playing him on the wings, I mean, there's a lot of competition for those two wing spots already, right? They just brought in Savio from Girona. You still got Jeremy Doku. Jack Grealish is still on the books. You still got Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden, right? So I don't necessarily see them bringing him in for the wings. Maybe it's to more so play centrally. And if Kevin De Bruyne does leave, then they do have to start looking at which players can come in for him, right? I would personally go after Jamal Musiala if I was City. I think they have the money to do it, and you never know. But Xavi Simons is a player that could definitely fit that profile of a player that Pep likes to get. So yeah, I think City are a good choice. Arsenal are a good choice. But for me, the best option for Xavi Simons would be Bayern Munich. He already knows the Bundesliga. He was there last season. He was tearing it up with RB Leipzig, impressing from what I heard. And if you put him in the same team as Musiala, Michael Olise, Harry Kane, and then you add Xavi Simons to the mix, oh my goodness. Yo, they'd be playing some really good football next season. I know a lot of people were kind of making fun of them for signing Vincent Kompany. Yeah, I kind of agree, right? I don't think if you get relegated, then your next job a month later should be at Bayern Munich, one of the biggest clubs in the world. But I do think Vincent Kompany is going to do a pretty good job with them. I remember when he was in the championship, everybody was saying that Burnley were the Man City of the championship, right? Like they were cooking, they were scoring a lot of goals, playing really good football. And obviously with them getting relegated last season, it's because he didn't have the tools to implement his style of play, right? Burnley don't have a huge budget. Burnley are never going to be able to go toe-to-toe with a lot of clubs in the Prem. So he had to adapt his style because you can't play that same way when you don't have the quality of players. So I actually do believe that Bayern Munich are going to cook next season. And if I was them, I would be pushing to go bring in a Xavi Simons for sure. I mean, you could definitely put him on that left wing. And I think they could do some things. Yo, a front four. People, hear me out. A front four. Xavi Simons, Jamal Musiala, Michael Olise, and Harry Kane. Come on, man. Oh, my goodness me. I think the Bundesliga is in trouble. You already see Bayern Munich are doing some good business. I said it. Once they went trophyless, I predicted Bayern to have a very big summer because I'm like, there's no way in hell they're going to go into next season and not be expecting to win all the trophies. I think next season Bayern are going to do a double. I think they will win the Bundesliga and they probably will do a domestic trophy as well outside of the league. So I think Xavi Simons would be a great fit for them. And if I was him, that's where I'd want to go. But again, I got to bring it back before we move on to PSG. How the hell does this benefit them at all to loan him out again? I'd rather just sell him. But if it's true that if they sell him right now, then I think PSV get 40%. of the price, then I guess you maybe just loan him then. But if I was them, I'd be trying to convince him to play for us. Like, I don't get it. It's just weird. Telling you, something crazy is going on with this deal. But I need you guys to let me know in the comment section, which team do you think should sign Xavi Simons? I think Bayern Munich would be the best fit for him. On top of that, they also have Leroy Sané, but let's be honest, Leroy Sané is not looking like that same player that we're used to seeing. He looks kind of washed at the moment, and if he doesn't find his form very quickly, he will lose his place in that starting 11, right? They've already brought in Olise, and I think now, if they don't sign anybody else, he'll probably be on that left wing. But if they go bring in Xavi Simons, trust me, Leroy Sané's starting spot is in jeopardy, and I think Simons will probably take that from him if I'm being honest. But as I said, man, let me know where you guys think he should go. Like, what's the best fit?